everyone, welcome back to TensorFlow. As you know, I have started a playlist on generative AI from scratch. This is the second video in our series, and today we are diving into autoencoders. In this video, we'll learn about autoencoders and understand how they work step by step, and I'll explain it in easy word to make the concept super easy to grasp. By the end of this video, you'll have a solid understanding of their theory, and in next one, we'll implement them with code and create some really cool projects. So let's get started. So first, let's take a look at the original research paper of autoencoders. So this is the research paper written by Jeffrey and Richard. So as you can see, they have explained everything about autoencoders in this research paper. So this is the definition that they have given for an autoencoder. An autoencoder network uses a set of recognition weights to convert an input vector into a code vector, then uses a set of generative weights to convert the code vector into an approximate reconstruction of an input vector. So this is very tough language, and as you know, research paper are very hard to understand. So there is nothing to worry. We'll learn it in simple terms. So let's start with our simple notes. So this is the presentation or the OneNote page for easy explanation. So I've created this for uh, easy explanation. So this is the representation in simple word. So the first question is, what are autoencoders? In simple term, an autoencoder is a type of neural network that can compress data into a smaller form and then reconstruct it back to its original shape. So autoencoder are like you can imagine it this way. You have a very large image and you want to store it using as little space as possible without losing much details. That exactly what an autoencoder does. So this is the goal of autoencoder. So how does it work? What is the mechanism behind the autoencoder? So an autoencoder has two main components: encoder and decoder. So think of it encoder, think of it as a compressor. It take the input data and let's say an image, and learn how to represent it in a smaller and compact form. This compressed version is called the latent space or the bottleneck. So the architecture of autoencoder is a bottleneck architecture. So let me draw this and explain it more precisely. So so this is our encoder and this is our decoder. So from here we will pass our image or our input data in the encoder, and it will reduce the size of image one by one gradually. And after that, here it will form a latent space or the smaller representation of this big image. And after that, from here, let's say this is our smaller representation of our image, and from here this decoder will take it and start reconstructing it from the latent vector, and then it will again reconstruct in its original shape, and here we will get the original image back. So um, my art is not good. So this is the overview or the main idea behind the architecture of autoencoder. So this is called the bottleneck representation, where everything is in decreasing size and then it is start increasing like this. So this is the bottleneck architecture. And so yeah, uh, output layer matches the reconstructed data with the input. So the decoder picks the point from latent space and start reconstructing the original image back. The decoder is like an uncompressor. It takes the compressed data and tries to rebuild the original input as closely as possible. The goal is to make the output look almost identical while passing through the compressed representation. So our goal is to minimize the loss between the reconstructed image and the original image. So let me give you an example. So here is the architecture of autoencoders. So we have an encoder and we have a decoder here, and this is the bottleneck. This is the bottleneck of the architecture, and it is also called the latent space. So this is the image. We will pass this image in encoder, and it will start reducing the size of image gradually, and after that it will compress the image in this latent space, and from here decoder picks the encoded vector and start reconstructing the image back in the original size. So this is the pipeline or the architecture of autoencoder, and this is for MNS data, and we'll learn this in our next video. We'll code the whole problem, and we will also generate some new images from our data. So let's get back to the presentation here. So why use autoencoder? Means what are the uses of autoencoder? So autoencoder are used for data denoising, feature extraction, dimensionality reduction, and anomaly detection. And this, the third one, dimensionality reduction, this is the most important feature or the mm, use case use case of autoencoder. So as you know, in today's world, data is the most useful source. Mm, whether it is computer science or whether it is artificial intelligence, and artificial intelligence is a field which is a data hungry field. It uses a lot of data for training process. So dimensionality reduction is the task where we take a data of higher dimension, means data which contain thousands of features, and we reduce the features of data with some algorithms like PCA and TSNE. So autoencoders are useful for dimensionality reduction, and that is the most important use case of autoencoder, I think. So how does the autoencoder learn? Means what is the learning process? Where is the learning part and trainable parameters in autoencoder? So autoencoders are trained using a special kind of loss function. It means the difference between input data and reconstructed output. So as we can see in the diagram here, this is our original image and this is the reconstructed image. So in first epoch, the difference between this original image and this reconstructed image will be very high, and mm, uh, the our algorithm will learn how to minimize this loss, and by the gradient descent process it will calculate the loss between these two and start reducing by adjusting the coefficients of weights and biases of our neural network. So this is here is the same case. This is our original image and reconstructed image, and this is our encoder and decoder and latent feature. So this is the learning process where the our neural network gets training parameters and get weights and biases adjusted in the training phase. So as we have seen the uses of autoencoders, so what is denoising? Denoising means they can clean a blurry or noisy image and make it look clearer. And same with the signals. They can take signals and remove the noise from the signal. Feature extraction. Feature extraction, again, the most important task in machine learning. They can learn the most important features of the data while ignoring unnecessary details. And dimensionality reduction. If you have a large data sets with many features, autoencoder can simplify them while retaining key information. They will not lose important information. That is the most useful part of autoencoders. So let's see a special type of autoencoder, which is a variational autoencoder. So we will learn this in detail in our upcoming videos. So this is the next topic for the playlist, and let's get a quick recap that what we have learned in this video. So autoencoders are neural network designed to compress and reconstruct data. Encoder takes data as input and start decreasing the size of data gradually and put it in the latent space. So let's visualize that what is latent space. So let's say this is our graph and this is our encoder, and it will reduce the size of the image gradually. So it will reduce the size. It will take the image as input, this image as input, and after that it will pass it gradually to another layer, and then to another layer, and then to another layer. So this process will reduce the size of image, and at the end it will reduce the size of image this much so that it can put the image in latent space. So latent space, visualize it as a x and y axis. So this is our y axis, this is an x axis, and it will plot it here, somewhere here. um, and from here, our decoder will start working. Our decoder will pick this point and start reconstructing the original image from this latent representation of the image. So this is the learning process, this is the architecture and the use case of the autoencoder. So that's it for today's video. Now you know what autoencoders are, how they work, and why they are so important in the world of AI. So in the next video, we'll bring this knowledge to life by implementing an autoencoder with Python code. We'll also create some cool projects like denoising images or even generate new data. So don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification so you don't miss it. If you have any question or want to cover something specific, drop a comment below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.